What's up, Bomb Squad? Hold on. Where's the button? Where is the button? Oh, it's early in the morning. Ain't it early? Make sure y'all hit that like button. Hold on. Drop the phone. Make sure you hit that like button. I thought I'd come on early because I'm up. And I really got to run out, but once I'm up. Shoot, so I might as well just come on a live stream. Make sure you hit that like button when you come in the stream. Anybody watches TikTok? That's the question. Let me share the live stream real quick. Hold on 1 second. I got to share live stream because I don't know if anybody up. People might be still asleep. Like Lisa. Lisa over there asleep. Let me play this real quick while I'm doing this real quick. Hold on. Damn, did I hit the button? Oops. What's in this cup? Okay. I had some oatmeal. I just ate a little bit of oatmeal. I was sharing the wrong way. All right. I think I shared it right. I'm gonna play some clips of this video because of the TikTok. I'm not gonna play the whole thing but I'm gonna play some of it because Brittany, my daughter, been like, "Oh no, Brittany said, Mom, you need to look at this whole thing. It reminds me of a family member." I'm gonna say it like that. I was like, "What, daughter?" So I got to looking at it like at 12 something at night. What's up, cool gamer? I got to looking at it so late at night. Y'all. For the people that come in and watch the replay, make sure you hit that like button and go to TikTok and you can finish watching it. All right, let's take that off and we're gonna share the screen. We're gonna share the screen, guys. So anyway, let me tell you a little bit about what's going on here. So it's a young lady that lives in Atlanta, Georgia, in Georgia somewhere. I want to say Atlanta, but somewhere in Atlanta, somewhere in Georgia. Let's say that. And she's been doing a TikTok recently, and she has, I want to say, over 50 something videos going on and on and on and on about her ex-husband. And I'm so invested in it. It's like once you start looking at it, you're not going to stop. Trust me, you're not going to stop watching it. So I thought I'd do a little reaction video and talk about it, some of the stuff that I already saw. So I'm not really reacting. I'm just bringing it to y'all so y'all can check it out because you might be going through the same thing that this woman going through. And if you haven't watched it, or if you already watch it, in the comments down below, once you watch this video or in the chat, let me know what episode you on. Well, it's not episode, it's like video. Because on TikTok you can only do such a short You made pizza and spaghetti this morning? Damn, that sound good. That sound good, Miss Cox. I want some. I had some oatmeal. That's what I had. That's it. And I got me a protein shake right here. I'm about to start drinking. But yeah, she does TikTok videos about her ex-husband from the beginning when they first met, and she's so like in details of what's going on. And I'm like, damn. I mean, some parts like when you start seeing red flags, I don't even know how she got to the married part yet because I'm still on the part where they're on the boyfriend and girlfriend. She tells the story how they met and then is up all the way because Brittany's like way out and one of her friends is like on episode 30. Well, not episode, it's video 30. So this woman here, let me play a clip of some of her story, her first story, and then you can take it from there. President, share screen. Back. All right, let me put me down here in the box. I wonder how I can get all of this off of here. I probably can't. Hold on.
Please excuse the hair, but here is part one of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So I met my ex-husband around March 4th of 2020.
See, this is the part
we
where she's
met
telling her
on
story.
Facebook dating site, and we also matched on Hinge. I did not realize that he was on both under two different names. So one was his actual name, and the other one was a variation, like a nickname that he called himself. Different pictures. So it was a running joke between us. Oh, you ain't even recognized that you had matched with me on Hinge. No, I didn't. And also that should have been a red flag. By the way, you will notice in this story, I called it the United Nations of red flags. It is so many red flags that, I mean, you would have thought I was colorblind because I ignored all of them. So anyway, back to the story. We met around March 4th. We exchanged phone numbers. He called me and we talked on the phone for the first time. In the first phone call, he told me that he had just moved to Georgia from California, from San Diego. His job had transferred him because he was being transferred in as the new regional manager for a major condiment company that is based here in Georgia. I'm not going to say the name. And so we also talked about his childhood. He told me he grew up in Philly. He's from Philly. Both of his parents were deceased. This is the first phone call. Both of his parents were deceased.
So
His
you on
father
7?
was a Philadelphia police officer. His mom was a teacher. He also told me he briefly lived in Augusta with his family. He had 2 brothers and 2 sisters. He also had 2 half-brothers on his dad's side. First phone call. So I'm just giving you guys the backstory. This was the first phone call we had. So we talked about family. We talked about friends. We talked about our jobs. At the time, I was working at Georgia State Patrol. And he knew this, and he just thought that was like, wow, so you work with troopers all day. Yes, I did. Also in that phone call, he explained to me that he used to play football. He explained that he used to play arena football. I know nothing about arena football. I know about NFL. I know about college. Go Dogs. But I don't know anything about arena football. So
but
he
they don't get
explained to
paid
me
that
that
much.
he used to play arena football. He used to work at Apple in the off season of arena football. And I remember thinking on that phone call, oh, okay, good for you. I don't know anything about arena football. And I believe I did tell him that I don't know anything about arena football. That'll come into play later on. So he told me, I just moved here. My job is paying for my housing and they're helping me to look for a house. He was like, right now I'm in Gwinnett County, but I'm trying to look for a house, ideally in Atlanta, like Brookhaven, Sandy Springs. He was like, I really would like to move out there. And so I thought, that's great. You're looking to get a house. You just moved here. He was like, I don't really know too many people here because I spend all my time at work and, this job is really demanding. So that was our first phone call. We talked more. He talked a lot, which took me by surprise because I'm not really used to men talking more than me. He eventually asked me out on a date.
This is crazy,
Our first
y'all.
date
This is really
was
crazy.
set for Saturday, March 7th.
Make sure y'all hit that like button when you come in, please.
He asked me what was my favorite restaurant. I said Cheesecake Factory. And so we agreed to go out at the Cheesecake Factory in a location that was in between. I lived in Clayton County at the time. He lived in Gwinnett County. I realized that if you don't know anything about Metro Atlanta, that makes no sense. But basically, we lived about 45 minutes apart. So we agreed to meet at the Cheesecake Factory over at Perimeter Mall, which is in an area, Sandy Springs, Dunwoody area. I was excited. Like, I called my friends and was like, I got a date, blah, blah, blah. We'll see how it goes. First conversation was good. Hopefully he looks like his pictures because, that's always an issue with online dating. Hopefully he looks like his pictures. So on my way to our date, I took 285 and literally right before I got to Boulder Crest, the exit for Boulder Crest, I heard a boom and I lost control of my car. Thank God that not thank God,
was signs, right?
I knew what to do.
So
I did not crash, but my tire blew out.
When stuff happened, that's signs.
So I called him and I said, hey, I'm so sorry, but my tire just blew on 285. I'm slowly making my way off the exit. I believe I pulled into a Chevron gas station. And I said, I got to get this fixed. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm a damsel in distress kind of thing. He kind of paused. He got quiet. And he was like, tell me exactly where you are. Drop your pin. So I dropped the pin. And he came to the gas station. Got out the car, And I was so relieved that he actually looked like his pictures, that I was like, oh my god, he's actually attractive, because he's like 6'4", 6'5". Um. Oh, also, man, I apologize. So let me go back to the first conversation. Let me add something. He did tell me in the first phone call that he was divorced, and that his ex-wife, she had two children, a boy and a girl, who were teenagers, young adults. I think the girl was about 20, and he said that he had a very close relationship with his stepkids, but that he and his ex-wife had divorced because she cheated on him out in California. And so coming to Georgia was a new beginning for him.
Mm.
She was still out in California. The kids were still out in California. And so, he was like, I can't stand her, but I still want to be in the kids' lives. I have to put that in
That's
there because that will
acceptable.
come back later. So this is just setting the stage. Again, that first conversation we talked about family, job, friends, how he ended up in Georgia, me being in Georgia, the things that, I would think people talk about in the first conversation. All right, now back to the tire blew out. So he shows up to the gas station. He changes my tire, which I just thought was the sexiest thing in the world. And then he proceeds to
That was
say, hey, I
moving.
found a
This move.
tire place around the corner. You need to get another tire. Like, you can't drive on this donut. So he followed me to the tire place, and then helped me get a tire, paid for it. So I was definitely like, wow. And so the vibe was good. So anyway, I get the tire fixed. We follow each other to the Cheesecake Factory over in Perimeter. We hold hands walking into the Cheesecake Factory. So in my mind, I'm like, this is just this. Oh my God, I had butterflies. That's the look of a woman
Oh
who
my
had
God.
butterflies.
He's
So
holding my
I had
hands.
butterflies. And we go in, there's a long wait. And so we sit outside and we just talk. And the conversation's great. And this is where he tells me what it is he's looking for. He tells me, I believe at the time he was 42. He was like, I want to get married and it be for real. He's like, my parents were married 40 plus years before my mom passed away. And I want that. I want marriage, family, a house. Like, that is what I want. He's like, I'm as a man, I'm ready to get married, but I want it to be for real, because the first time, it really hurt me when she cheated on me. So he's telling me everything that I wanted to hear. And so he was like, what is it that you want? And I said pretty much the same thing. I was like, I'm ready to get married. Definitely want to have a family. And I want to marry my best friend. So we both put on the table that we wanted marriage.
They wanted
And
marriage.
this is the end of part one.
All right.
Please excuse the hair, but here is part one of.
So that was part one. And so pretty much she just went up, she just basically went down the line what she really wanted and what he wanted. But I think when that tire blew, I think that's when it was like, don't go. Don't go. That was the first red flag that I saw. Like, when things happen on your way, and that's like how they call it. It's stopping you from getting to your destination is a reason that happened, you know. But like I said, I'm on part 6. And Miss Cox, you said you're on 7. So I'm gonna do a couple of them, but then I want you guys to go ahead, and it's on TikTok. People saying this should be a Netflix movie. I think so. I think she can come out with, make a movie out of this. All right, let's go to part 2. Let's go to part 2. Where's my share screen? Hold on. My daggone thing went downward. Let's go to part 2.
All right, who the fuck did I marry? Part 2. So we both put on the table what it is that we wanted. We both had established we
She's
were
been driving for a
dating for
long time.
marriage. We were not dating just to date. We were not trying to be friends with benefits and none of that. So the dinner at Cheesecake Factory went really well. We laughed, we joked, we talked about people, which
I think she's driving
is
a
kind of
Tesla.
up my alley, my sense of humor. It was a good vibe. So at the end of the date, or excuse me, at the end of dinner, we sat in his car and he played this song for me by John Legend. I don't know
He
the
didn't
name of
play
the
it for
song.
you, girl.
By the time this video
That
posts,
was
I
the
will put the
trick.
name at the bottom. I can't remember the song. I just remember that John Legend was talking about, I think I met my wife tonight.
That's the
And
trick.
I thought it was a sign. So I was like, oh my God. So anyway, we ended up sitting in the car talking just about life and experiences until about midnight. So during this conversation, he again is telling me how it was, what it was like living in California, how he went out there. He went to San Diego State. He played football for San Diego State. He talked about how, he loved it out there, so he stayed. That's when he joined the company.
Mm.
And then he explained that he also did arena football, but only did it for about 2 or 3 years. He claims that while he was doing arena football, the team that he was on won a championship. But again, keep in mind, I don't know anything about arena football. So I was like, okay, I didn't know that they had championships. And he was like, he got a little offended, like, yeah, they got championships. And, he was on that team. So he talked to me about how he worked at Apple. He worked something in the IT area of Apple, but it within the store. Again, it was one of those. It's like when I tell people I used to work at Amazon. I really wasn't paying much attention to it. Why? So we talked about all that. We talked deeply into what happened with the ex-wife. It's because I asked. He was not volunteering all this information. So in other words, I get very uncomfortable when men start talking
He
about
was
their
on that
ex
don't ask, I
a
won't tell.
lot. That's
That's what
not what
that was.
happened. I was asking questions because I was really trying to figure out, okay, are you ready for a relationship, or are you still missing her? So we talked about that. We talked about my exes. That was a mistake I made because I talked about how I dated at one point in time somebody I worked with. That will come back later. And he seemed real cool about it. He was like, that was before me and blah, blah, blah. So the conversation was good. Midnight comes and I go home. Yes, I went home. We ended up talking. Mind you, our first date was March 7th. And within about 2.5 weeks, Brian Kemp, our governor, shut Georgia down. We were going to be on lockdown. So during those 2.5 weeks, we talked every day. We went out again at Red Lobster. I remember Red Lobster. But everything was going great. The issue was, where are we going to quarantine? So the question was, are we going to quarantine at his place, which he had like a studio type of situation. Like it clearly, where he was staying, I was like, it's like a studio apartment, but he kept telling me like, this is temporary because I'm looking for a house. Like he showed me the email from a woman who worked at the company where she was out on maternity leave, but she was putting him in contact with a realtor to help him find a townhome or a single family house. So I was just like, okay, this is definitely temporary. Like, he's not trying to stay here long term. And she was apologizing in the email. I'm so sorry. You know, this should have been taken care of before you got here, but it wasn't. I saw the email. I saw the email. I read it. I read the email. So the decision was, we're going to quarantine at the studio, or we're going to quarantine in my house? First mistake I made. Well, there's a lot, but this was a mistake I made. So ladies, caution moment.
He was waiting for you to say mine.
During one of our dates, because keep in mind, in those 2 weeks, we were seeing each other quite a bit. Nothing physical or anything like that. Just two people who I thought were really on some. All right, let's see if this is going to grow into something. He came to my house. When he came to my house, I had a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhome. He was in a studio. Now, I'm telling you guys all of this in order of how it happened. So some things I'm probably going to insert what I was thinking and the mistake I made. Can I turn this off? No. Okay, still need that. And I say that to say that I did not realize inviting him to my home probably made his eyes go, oh shit, she's a keeper.
He was
she
like,
got
I
this
struck gold.
3-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhouse,
yep,
and I'm in like a little studio. Yeah, let me go ahead and pursue this. What I need to do to quarantine here. The decision was made, quarantine at my house. So the state went on lockdown. He came and stayed with me in my home. And for the most part, in the initial beginning, it was fine. It was fine. The reason why I hesitate is because I grew up in the church. So for me, it was really like an internal struggle of, bruh, you always said you would never live with a guy unless he was your husband. And now you living with a dude and he ain't your husband. Like, it was a struggle for me because I knew better. And don't come for me. I'm just telling you the way I grew up. It was like that. It was not sitting right with me. But at the same time, I didn't want to quarantine by myself. I did not want to. So
nobody could go nowhere.
There we go. So he moved in.
But then
we talked about the bills. Let me clear something up that I said in the other video where I said he paid all the bills. He paid all the household bills. He did not pay my car payment, my cell phone, or my car insurance. He paid the rent because my rent at the time was less than $1,000. He paid the utility bills. And so when he's telling me that he's a regional manager, I was like, wow, okay, so you got money. And so he paid all the household bills. So my check really was just taking care of myself and I. And I am not, this is where it's not going to make me look good, but it's the truth. It was intoxicating to not have to worry financially about how to pay the bills. It was a wonderful feeling. And so I kind of pushed to the side the fact that, yeah, you shacking up, because it's like, but your page, you don't have to worry right now. Like, he's taking care of all of April's bills before April even comes, because this was still March. So we're living together, and I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, he's helping to cook and clean, and then we have a conversation about house.
Again.
Is he still going to buy a house just for him, or is he going to buy a house where it's for us? Because we are going to try to make this thing work.
That's what people make their mistakes.
Get married, have a family. So the question now on the table is, what are we going to do? Because I didn't want to stay in Riverdale, Georgia. I did not want to raise a family there. I refused to have a baby in Clayton County. So the decision was made, let's start looking for a house for both of us. Remember, he was already looking for a house for him. But then he was like, you know what? We're together. I plan to marry you. Let's look for a family home for the two of us. He was like, this is how much I was approved for. That's when he showed me the Chase paperwork. It was a letter stating that and it had the Chase emblem at the top. He showed me a letter stating that he was approved for 700. All right, who the fuck did I marry?
Hold on. That was
So we both
part
put
two.
on the
We just
table
finished part two. See, she should have saw all the red flags. She had too many red flags. Let me see what part three at. She had too many red flags already happening in the beginning, to the point where she's now investing herself and her time trying to, see how they gonna live, because he was already supposedly be getting a house before he even met her, because he's living in a studio trying to figure out where he gonna live at. Now they've been shacking up because of the COVID. I understand she didn't want to be by herself, but you see this man you ain't even been with that long, and he's doing all these things. He's showing you. And your first red flag was when that tire blew on your way to meet him. That was a sign from the jump. Let's go to part 4. Oh, man. All right. Hold on. Share screen. Share screen. Here we go. We're going to go to part 4.
All right. Part 4. So we go to Home Depot. We go to Lowe's. I'm choosing all these appliances. He's taking pictures of the SKU number. We have representatives helping us, and he basically explained to them, "Hey, we're buying a house. We should be closing sometime in June. Can we order this stuff now? Can I put a hold on it? Like, what can we do? Because we're not ready for delivery." I stood there. As the Home Depot rep said, we can hold it in our warehouse. Like, you can buy something and we can hold it. People do it all the time, especially with COVID. So I watched him pay. I want to say it was about it was either $350 or $500. I watched him pay a deposit on a whole new set of appliances for them, and they were going to hold it until we were ready for delivery. I watched this. So I was like, okay, good deal.
So like, it looked for real, like everything was going to happen.
Let's go to Rooms to Go and Ashley Furniture and find actual furniture. So we went all around Rooms to Go. We went to Ashley Furniture. We went to American Signature. And I saw all these things that I wanted. Again, he's taking pictures of it. He was like, I can go online and order it. I didn't think anything of it because, again, I just saw that we held the appliances. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So April turns into May. May 2020 comes. This is where things start to get a little interesting. May comes, and obviously we had not done inspection. And I'm asking him all the time, what's the deal with the house? He was like, oh, because of COVID, they're trying to get someone to do the inspection. But the guy that they had, it was always something. The guy they had caught COVID, so they're going to have to get somebody else. And he's like 15 houses backed up, so it'll be a while. So at this point in May, I know I look crazy. In this point in May of 2020, I started recording audio diaries. I don't know why. It was something just made me just start recording my thoughts in an audio diary, and I still have them. And I would save them by the date, and I would just start talking about what's on my mind. So I was like, I knew there was something. Something was nagging me like, but I kept pushing it out of my mind. I was like, you saw, this is what I reminded myself. You saw him pay for the appliances. You know the house is under contract. You know that he told you that he's the one who put the house under contract. Why would, like, I remember saying to myself, why would he lie about that? This is so easy to verify. Why would he lie about that? Have you caught him in any other lie? And at the time, the answer was no. So I really was like,
you didn't catch him in no lies,
maybe you just aren't used
but
to
you
a
had some
guy who
flags.
actually does what he's supposed to do. Like I
Flags
was
are worse.
questioning myself and then answering my own questions. So inspection didn't happen. Around mid-May, I found out I was pregnant. May 2020.
It's like this story getting
When
worse
I
and
found out
worse.
I was pregnant, he was ecstatic and I was like, oh shit. The reason why I was oh shit is because number one, I'm plus size. Number two, because of my age, I felt like it was probably going to be a high risk pregnancy. And I wasn't married. And that nagged. I cannot tell y'all how much it nagged me. There was a lot of internal struggle in between. My family didn't even know that he had moved in at this point. I told them, that I was pregnant. Went to the doctor. Everything looked good. But again, because it was COVID, he couldn't go in with me into the actual room. So, doing any sort of ultrasound, doing the blood test, because my HCG levels were really high. So the doctor was like, hey, it might be twins. We don't know yet. You're still kind of early, along. They gave me a due date. The due date was January 26th of 2021. So, yeah. May, found out I was pregnant. So there was now more of a push into, we got to get a house. We got to get the fuck up out of here. I'm not having a baby in Riverdale. Okay? Nothing against Riverdale. But I ain't having a baby in Riverdale. So
you should have stayed in
we
your own
need
place.
to find out what's going on with this house. And so he was on top of it. He had an answer for everything. He was like, I'm gonna call and find out what's going on, blah, blah, blah. He then magically told me about a week later, oh, they're going to do inspection on the house like in 2 days. So I was just like, okay, keep in mind, I'm taking his word for it. I'm taking his word for all this.
That's what you do.
So he's like, they're going to do an inspection.
Especially if you don't know.
Once we get the inspection report back, then we will know what we are going to be responsible for. What are we getting ourselves into? So,
I mean, we
I guess they did an
you're supposed
inspection.
to do the whole thing together.
He showed me an inspection report. Only thing that they said that the roof had just recently been replaced, which I remember he was very happy about. And the issues that there were for the house were minor. It was not a bad, because we did have a discussion about it. He was like, it's nothing that we can't handle. Then he said that we were set to close the end of May. We were set to close the end of May. He told me it was going to be a virtual closing. You're probably like, what the hell is a virtual closing? Because again, he's saying because of COVID, people are not closing in the office. They're doing a virtual closing where you would need to electronically sign the paperwork. This is what he's telling me. And so he was like, we're set
a lot
to
of things
close,
had
like
changed,
just
but
before
I
Memorial
don't know
Day.
this story though.
And so for some reason, again, there's still that nagging part. For some reason, I didn't start packing. Anyone that knows me will tell you I hate moving. I've done it enough in my life. I hate moving. But I did not start packing up that house at all. I was just like, you know, I'm pregnant. My body was changing so fast that it was like I can barely keep my eyes open half the day. And so, no, I didn't start packing. And I remember I did record, again, I was recording audio diaries just about every day. When something didn't sit right, I would verbally record it in the audio diary because I was like, I don't know what it is, but there's something. That was the theme of our relationship. I don't know what it is, but I know there's something.
You shouldn't live in no relationship like that.
And so
Relationships don't go like
I
that.
remember talking to myself in my little prayer closet
I
because
start
that's
talking
where
to
I would do my
myself.
recordings. And I remember thinking, what if we don't get this house? Like, what if we don't get, what if he's lying? But again, there
You
goes that
questioning
thought
yourself.
process of, why would he lie about this? Like, who makes up that they're buying a house when in fact they're not? And then he's showing you all this paperwork. Like, come on, you can't be that jaded that you don't even believe what's in front of you. All right. So now we're going to go into part 5.
All right, y'all. She said she's gonna go into
All right,
part 5.
part
That's
4.
still 4. You only thing about when you doing TikTok, you can't. You gotta swipe up and go to the next one and all of that. I'll be glad when they come up with something when people doing they when they doing their videos on TikTok. So she's already saying how her she got questions. If you have questions, wouldn't you say, let me go check it out? Let me go figure out what's going on. Let me go with him. Because think about it, anybody can pull up documents and create documents. What's up, Von D? Anybody can pull up documents and create documents easily. When I say easily, you can go in there. Just like I created I'm actually starting this little DJ thingy. So I created a contract. So I went and pulled up a contract and then I fill in stuff. And you can manipulate it and put in what you need to put in. So I'm like, come on now. She should have, instead of questioning herself, she should have just went on and investigate on her own and go with them. I don't know, I wouldn't have went this far, but let's go to part 5. It's just crazy. I don't understand people. She said he 40 something and she's in the state of the age. She didn't say how old she was, but with her at risk to have a kid. So I'm thinking her late 30s, 40s, maybe. I don't know. She didn't say. Anybody know how old she is? Let me know in the comment down below. Let's go to 5.
All right, part 8 of Who
Oh,
the Fuck
no,
Did
no,
I
no, no,
Marry?
no, 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 no. We
So
don't
we
want part
submitted an
8.
offer
Let's
on
go
the
back.
house in Smyrna.
No, no, no. She out the car. We not out the car yet. We on part 5.
All right, part
Why
8 of
it's going to 8 and it say part 5 right there. Hold on, let's see. It say part 5.
All right, part 8 of
Wait a minute. Let's find 5. She got so many damn parts on here. She should have just did a YouTube video. But then I can see she making some bank with this because I believe it went viral. Let's take part 5. Part 5. All right. I don't know. See, everybody's talking about it, and I need to get to part 5. That's 1, 2. See, when I'm using my phone, I could just go to the next. This is a little different using how you call it?
Let me put y'all on real quick. I need y'all to run quickly to my girl page. I'm gonna tag her below.
I feel you. Hold on, let's see. Part 4. Where's part 5? It gotta be on here somewhere. Hold on.
Okay, part 5. Who the fuck did I marry? So I'm questioning all this stuff in my head out loud on my audio diaries. And then once again, I'm like, but look at what he's giving you. Like, he's paying. It wasn't a question about money. It was just a question of, are we really about to move into this house? And keep in mind, he's paying all the household bills. He still is. So
she crazy.
We were supposed to close before Memorial Day. We didn't. There was an excuse. There was always an excuse with him. Always an excuse. And I didn't know enough about the process to question stuff because I really wasn't involved the way I should have been. And it was giving me a lot of anxiety. So I'm pregnant with a lot of anxiety. And if I'm going to be 100% honest with y'all, I was not expecting that I was probably going to have a healthy pregnancy because I was stressed. And what I was stressed about is I didn't know what was going on because I wasn't really involved the way that a normal relationship would be involved. Just being honest. So we did not close.
That's when you should have left.
We move now into June. This is now going into June. Around June 5th, I looked at the house again on Realtor.com. I don't know what made me do it other than, and I don't mean to sound super spiritual. I know that people are like, you may or may not believe in God, but I'm telling you, I believe with all my heart. Probably the Holy Spirit was like, look at that house on Realtor.com. So I looked at the house on Realtor.com. This was around June 5th. It showed that the house was off the market. And I remember being like, okay, wait, what does that mean? What does that mean? Because ex-husband is telling me we're about to close on the house. We're about to close. It's our house. We got furniture, da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. He's also telling me that he's been in contact with the realtor, his friend, who was telling him, this is what was happening next. Here's what's going on. So the guy that we initially worked with apparently is completely out of the picture. But again, I was not heavily involved.
See, that's red flag again.
So I'm just like, let me look at the house. I see it's off market. What the fuck does off market mean? Like, now I'm really freaking out. So it shows the name of the real estate agent for the seller. I don't remember her name. I called her and I said, I said, my husband and I, even though I wasn't married, my husband and I were looking at this house at 123 Main Street. And we really wanted to tour it, but now I'm showing it's off market. Is it not available? Or, I pulled that card and she was like, oh, no, ma'am. The home closed yesterday. It closed June 4th. Again, there are certain dates I just remember.
Wow.
And I said, oh, it closed June 4th.
She got receipts.
I was like, really? And she said, yes, ma'am. She was like, my sellers sold the house. And I was like, oh, man, okay. Well, I said, my husband and I really wanted, we love the pictures of it. And we're getting ready to start a family. So I would have loved to have been able to, have the opportunity to see it. I asked her something. I don't remember the specific question I asked her. And I know why I asked the question, because I was anticipating that my boyfriend at the time was going to have some sort of excuse. So I asked her something about the buyers. And I remember, and somehow, again, forgive me, I don't remember the question I asked her. Uh-oh. But the answer was that it was an older white couple. So I get off the phone with her. I record an audio diary, and in the audio diary, I specifically say, okay, there is no house. He's going to have to get out of this lie somehow. Because now I realize, at the very least, he was lying about him being the one
He was
who
lying
was
about
under
everything,
contract.
lady. Everything.
I knew enough about that.
He lying about everything.
So I was like, what, how was he going to get out of this? Again, I've listened to the audio diary in 2024. I literally said in that audio diary, how is he going to get out of this lie? And I was trying to think of ways on how he's going to do it. And something said to me, because I say it on the audio diary, I said, he's going to say it's a bad deal. And he's going to say he wants to pull out. Y'all keep in mind, I am pregnant. So I had a decision to make. As ugly as this decision was, I made the decision, you're about to have a baby with this man. He's paying all the household bills.
He about to trap you.
Let him get out of the lie. And that's what I did. I purposely made the decision that I knew he was going to come back, and I knew he was going to give me some bullshit on why he couldn't buy the house, because he didn't know that I knew that house is already sold. The house is already sold. And this is the part where I said, I'm gonna be honest, even though it's gonna make me look bad, because most women in their right mind would have been like, I'm out.
They would have ran.
And I didn't.
And still,
so,
you still an ex, right? Not even ex.
Sure enough,
boyfriend and girlfriend still.
He came home. He didn't really say anything that day. The next day I asked him about the house. And he said, my friend, the realtor, he was like, I'm talking to him because something's going on with the interest rate. And when he said that, I felt so much relief, because I knew that I had been prepared for, he's going to give you some bullshit. So when he said there's something with the interest rate, I said, you know what? If this is literally what I said, y'all. If the interest rate isn't good, then we shouldn't move there. We should probably let this house go. We should cancel whatever furniture we ordered, or, appliances, and let's just look for another house. I said, I would like to be moved before the end of the year. I said, I really don't want to be 9 months pregnant moving into a house. I would like to be done with this before then. And the way I said it was so calm. And he was like, okay. He was like, I'm going to call the friend, the realtor, and tell him I'm backing out of the house. And I'm going to see if I can get my earnest money back. And I remember looking at him. I was standing in the kitchen, and I cocked my head to the side, and I said, okay, get your earnest money back. And let's find another house. And so that's how that first house fell through. So, fast forward, I keep looking at this to see how much time I have, because they only give you 10 minutes. So this is part 5, part 6 is coming up. But subsequently, what ends up happening the next week, which is mid-June, I was at work. And I started cramping, started bleeding. And at this point, my doctor, I had just had an ultrasound earlier that day. So I went to work, because the ultrasound was fine. I went to work, and the cramping and the bleeding started. And I started crying, because I kind of knew what was going on. And my doctor had called me and told me that when they did the ultrasound, they did not see a heartbeat. So she was like, this pregnancy is not going to be viable. So I'm crying, hysterical. And now we're going to get into part 6.
Man, that's just crazy. See, she had if y'all look at it like I'm looking at it, I don't know what y'all see, what y'all think about it, but like I said, for the replay people down in the comment, at this point, to me, it's like she's getting all these red flags on why she shouldn't marry this person. Now, keep in mind, they not even married yet, and all of this done happened. Me, I would have ran from the beginning. If a female did that, oh no, it'd have been done. It's a wrap. All right, let's go to part 6. Oh, she out the car, y'all. This is where I left off at. She's just out the car. Vanity. That drive was getting. I was getting a little tired in the car. Hold on. Share screen. Boop.
Okay, so this is part 6 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So, where we left off. So, obviously, my doctor had called and told me there was no heartbeat, the pregnancy was not viable at that point, and I was cramping and spotting at work. Went into my best friend's office and immediately started crying. She was like, "What's going on?" And I said, I told her what the doctor said. And she grabbed her keys, grabbed her purse, and was like, "Let's go. I'm taking you home." On my way home, I called my boyfriend and told him what the doctor said. And he was like, "I'll meet you at home." So he was coming from Duluth, went straight home. Um, and so about 24 or 48 hours later, I had a doctor's appointment. And my doctor gave me 3 options. First option, let everything happen naturally. Your body will expel the fetus on its own.
Mm.
Second option, you can take a pill which will induce expelling the fetus at home. The pill basically will cause you to contract and expel.
I didn't know they
The
had that.
third option was to go into the hospital and do a DNC. I did not want to do a DNC because I did not want to be in a hospital with COVID going on. Um, and for whatever reason, I did not do the option of let it happen naturally. So I chose to do the pill. His birthday was June 17th. My ex's birthday was June 17th. So the decision was made, we're going to celebrate his birthday that day, go out to eat. And then that night, I would take the pill because we both were off from work the next 2 days, next 2 or 3 days. So went out to eat to try to celebrate as best we could, and then took the pill that night. That night was the most traumatic, excruciating pain I've ever put my body through. I do not recommend any woman, if prayerfully you don't have to go through that, but I don't recommend taking that pill. If you don't have to, don't do it. Um, I spent the whole night in the bathroom, just crying in so much pain.
Mm.
I couldn't take, they gave me a narcotic. I couldn't take it because I found out I was allergic to it. So it was causing me to like projectile vomiting. It was a mess. So, um, and he was right there. He was scared that he needed to take me to the ER. But in the morning, the pain kind of subsided. So about 72 hours later, I had another doctor's appointment where the purpose of this appointment was to do an ultrasound to see if everything had passed.
I know
Everything
all
did
that
not
can.
pass.
Oh,
So
appeal.
because of that, my doctor was like, we're going to have to do a DNC. Um,
Mm.
my DNC was scheduled for the first week of July. My boyfriend, my ex, was going to take me. Um, that was always the plan. 2 days before my procedure, he comes home and tells me that he is up for a promotion. He's up to be promoted to VP. Because of this, the president of the company, excuse me, is coming in, and it was going to be this huge business meeting he had to go to. The business meeting was scheduled for the day of my surgery.
Mm.
And so I'm throwing a fit because I was like, you there's no way you can do that meeting. Like, I need you to take me to the hospital and all this other stuff. And so he offered to have his sister take me to the hospital. Apparently, his sister lived in Douglasville. I was like, no, because I've never met her. Like, I know I'm not having a stranger take me to the hospital. No, this is a private situation. I don't want to do that, blah, blah, blah. So my aunt had offered to take me. And then my friend who took me home from work had offered to take me. So at that point, we get into an argument because he's like, my sister is, you about your family, so why can't she step in? And I was like, nah, because I don't know her.
She don't know her.
Period.
Why
I
would she
don't know
take
her.
her? Mm-mm.
So my friend offers to take me to the hospital because I was all distressed that he's saying he has a business meeting and he can't take me. So I remember being on I-75 on the connector on the phone with her crying because I was so embarrassed that he wasn't going to be the one to take me and that I was needing to rely on someone else to take me to the hospital in order to get a DNC done. And she was really great. She was like, girl, this is why you have a village. Like, it's okay. Things happen. The world is crazy right now. I will take you. You're going to be okay.
That's what you
So he
call a
did not
friend.
take me to the hospital for my DNC. My friend did. She could not stay because of COVID protocol. So when they wheeled me into pre-op after I got checked in, I texted him and was just letting him know, hey, here's the update. I'm about to, I'm in pre-op. They're going to get me prepared to go back to the surgical ward or whatever. And the response I got was from his new executive assistant named David. Now, when he told me he was up for the promotion, he did tell me that part of getting this new job would be that he would get an executive assistant named David. And he did tell me, I'm going to make sure that I inform David if you get a text from this number, meaning from me, pull me out of the meeting because my fiance's having a procedure done and I'm picking her up, so it's important that you come get me if it's something serious. So I text him. David responds. He said, yeah, Mr. Blah blah told me that you are having a procedure done. If you need me to get him, I can go get him. He's in a meeting. Just let me know what you need. And I just said, no, don't bother him. I'm just giving an update that they're about to take me back. And David responds and says, I'm so sorry you're going through this. Please let me know if there's anything I can do. So I have the procedure. I wake up and I am now in recovery. I should be in recovery 45 minutes up to an hour and a half.
Mm.
I wake up, first thing I ask, and I remember asking, is where is so and so? The nurse who was so sweet, she was like, everything went well. You're doing great. She said, we spoke to your fiance. He's on his way. So I said, okay, okay. I kind of dozed back out, but I could still hear everything that was going on. I just could not keep my eyes open to save my life. So I hear her talk to the other nurse. And that's when she said, yeah, Dr. So-and-so called her fiance and his executive assistant picked up. And the executive assistant said that he was in a business meeting and that, you could relate to him what you need to say and he'll tell the fiance. And my doctor was like, hell no, HIPAA. I need to speak to him. So apparently, my fiance called the doctor back about 30 minutes later, and the doctor informed him she'll be ready to be discharged in about an hour. You can make your way and come pick her up. He said he was on his way. He was on his way from Duluth to Atlanta, which is not a huge distance, but the time of day, one thing about Atlanta, there's always traffic. So he should have been there within the hour. I should have only been in recovery an hour and a half. Let's go to the next part.
All right.
Okay,
That's
so
crazy
this
right
is
there. All right, I'm gonna play one more, and then you guys gonna have to go watch it on TikTok. You're gonna have to watch it on TikTok because this is too much. And like I said, it's a lot. Hold on, I need to get to StreamYard. There it is. It's a lot. Like I think it goes somebody on 50. And keep in mind we only on number what we on 7? I'm on 7 now, baby. She wake up talking about 6. Oh my gosh. I see part 40. Lord, where's 7? I gotta find number 7. See now the job itself is being questioned to me because how you this say part 7. How you gonna leave her at the hospital? I mean, it might be a job. I don't know, but it don't sound real. None of it sound real. Everything to me sound make believe to me because when you start off wrong, it make it hard for me to believe. That's where I'm at. Let's go to 7, then we're gonna close it out.
part 7. Who the fuck did I marry? So I should have been in recovery at Northside Hospital for about at most an hour and a half. Um, Subsequently, I ended up being in recovery between 3 to 3.5 hours. The
Damn.
nurses kept calling my ex, asking what's the status, because they were actually getting ready to do a shift change. So they kept calling, asking, what's the status? What's the status? Like, where are you? I want to say that they called a total of 3 times and they spoke to him twice.
Mm.
Um, so at this point, I knew that they were all like, where is her? Where is her fiance? Like, what is going on? He said he was stuck in traffic,
Three
and so he
hours.
was making his way there. He eventually did get to Northside Hospital, and they wheeled me down because, again, he couldn't come in just because of the protocols. So when I got in the car, and I'm in pain, but yet drugged up, couldn't keep my eyes open, couldn't really, I was just out of it. But I remember him calling my aunt and my mother and letting them know I picked her up. We're on the way home. Let me get her settled, and then I'll give you guys an update. I remember that. What I did not know was that he had texted my aunt and my mom and asked them to not bother me for like a week. Like, just please don't reach out to her. Let her just rest. I am from New Jersey. I am from an African American family. You don't tell my black mama or my black aunt that, um, please don't bother her for a week.
What in the world?
I didn't know this at the time, but I'm
Wow.
just interjecting that part. I'm trying to stay in the timeline, but he did apparently do that, and my aunt was like, "Why will fuck you up?" Anyway, so go home. Um, he waits on me hand and foot. I recover. Just needed about 24 to 48 hours to just get my mind right. Um, During this time, in between the when the house in Douglasville fell through, we had not talked about a house. So I guess it was about a week later after the DNC, he decides that, do you want to start looking for a house again? Excuse me, I have hiccups, y'all. Do you want to start looking for a house again? Because of what happened with the house in Douglasville, I felt like I was smarter this time to say, I want to be involved in every aspect, because I don't know what the fuck happened with that house in Douglasville. But what I do know is that he lied to me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I didn't know then what I know now. I just knew he lied about putting in, or excuse me, I knew he lied about being under contract. So I told him, I said, I don't want to work with your friend. who I've never met, never talked to. I know that he has talked to him because he's talked to him in front of me. And I'm going to demonstrate on one of the videos how he used to do his phone calls. Don't worry, it's coming. So we found a new real estate agent, really nice guy. His name was Scott. I am using his real name. Really nice guy.
Okay.
Um, and we told him what the budget was. And Scott was like, okay, when you guys are ready, we can start looking at houses. Try to look for houses that are empty because you can actually tour those. If it's a house where someone's already living in there, chances are it's going to be a virtual tour because of COVID. So I found a house um, that I absolutely, in total, we must have looked at about 15 houses. Um, but I found a house in Smyrna that I absolutely loved.
That's a nice one. That's
We
nicer than the
toured the
other one.
house. Everything about this house was perfect. The house was listed for 699,000. It was a brand new construction build. The only issue was that the basement was not finished. He wanted the basement to be his man cave. Um, Again, I went with him to tour this house. So this was already feeling very different than the situation in Douglasville
That first
because
house.
we did not actually tour the Douglasville house. We only did a FaceTime virtual tour. This house in Smyrna, we toured. We toured this house more than once, um, and it was gorgeous, fucking gorgeous. So we talked about it. He said that he had the money. Um, Again, the price was $699. He said he felt comfortable putting in an all cash offer. If you remember on the videos before, he told me he had money in his savings from when he played football. So
Mhm.
when he said an all cash offer, even I knew you you got that kind of money, like where you can cut a cashier's check for 699,000. And he told me he did. He had money in savings from when he played football, and he was very comfortable
Arena
paying
football.
all cash for this home. So
Mm.
the real estate agent, Scott, sent over the paperwork. The paperwork was sent in both of our names. It was sent to my email. That was another thing that I changed after Douglasville. Everything gets sent to me. And then I will be sure that he signs it. So he sent it to me. I looked over the offer. We were going to put in an all cash, full price offer with a request to have the basement finished. Also, we were requesting for the seller to give us an answer within 24 hours. Um, we were requesting a quick closing. These are just some of the things I remember. I remember 24, like I didn't want to wait on y'all think about it. 24 hours, let us know if you're accepting the offer or not. And then also a quick closing because it was a new construction. So we didn't have to wait for the current tenant to move out. We didn't have to do that. So I watched in our bedroom as he pulled it up because it was a electronic document. He signed his name to the offer for $699,000 cash. He requested again, the seller let us know
Mm.
in 24 hours if they were accepting the offer. So we submitted the offer at around 6 p.m. We were requesting that by 6 p.m. the next day, they let us know if the offer was accepted or not. I watched him sign the offer. I sent the offer back to Scott from my email. All parties had signed. Scott texted us and said, I got it. I'm submitting it. I will let you know what they say. Let's go into part 7.
Damn.
Sorry. Let's go into part
Damn,
8.
y'all.
Good grief.
I'm
This is
supposed to
getting
get
long.
off of this. I am going to get off of here. Y'all see her name. Y'all go subscribe on TikTok and to watch the rest of the 50, 60 And keep in mind, this is all recent, so go over there and subscribe to her so you can finish watching it. I've been on here for an hour and 15 minutes, and this is very interesting. Somebody said Tyler Perry need to pick this up. Somebody need to pick this up, make a movie out of this one, because this one is actually interesting. I'm gonna go sit down in my recliner and watch the rest of it on part 8. If you are watching this, let's keep it going. Talk about it in the comments down below. But like I said, it's on TikTok. What's her name? Her name is Reesa. Reesa Teesa. Reesamteesa on TikTok. So you'll see it on the side when you're watching the video. Go finish watching it, and then we can come back and talk about it next week, where we left off at, or where we going, how far we got, and we can talk about it. But make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure you share. Make sure you hit that notification bell so when we do come back, you don't want to miss it. But this is, like I said, this is very interesting. It's like I'm sitting down watching a whole a whole movie. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all later. Thank y'all for watching. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. This DC Kool-Aid and peace. That's right. Thank you for watching. Thank y'all for coming through. That's right. You came through a DC Kool-Aid and Lisa production live stream. Make sure you hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Hit that like button, share, and subscribe. And we will be back with another live stream.
And I put it on Caesars. All I got is certified Trump beaters. Charge a couple cool K for the features. It ain't about the money, then you probably can't reach us. Hey, and I put it on mamas. Do it for the soul, for the fam, and the commas. Don't act, be chill with the dramas. All you gotta do is be you and
be honest. That's what we talking about. Them YouTube streets got to be honest. On these YouTube streets, we got the mukbangers, the prankers, even the haters. We love vlogging, cooking, and pranks and challenges. Always have the real talk. And with Lisa saying, hey, y'all.